Hey guys, and welcome to another video. This is Pasty and Friends. Now last year I did a video which some of you might remember, talking about my top 5 favourite books. That video saw Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling placed at the top, and there was other ones such as The Power of Five, I think was in there, by Anthony Horowitz. I talked about House of Secrets. In the last year I've read a lot more books, and my opinion has changed. Harry Potter is no longer at the top spot, and I don't think any of the books that were in my last video are in my top 5 anymore. Seeing as though I've read new books, my mind's expanding, I'm getting older, so I'm going for a more older feel, and I've just read other books. So I thought this time I would revamp that series, mainly because I'm looking for something to get back onto the YouTube game with, and I just thought this would be a nice video to start off with, seeing as though I've gained 6 subscribers in the last 2 days. Good going. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the top 5 favourite books that I've read pretty much in the last year, and my opinion has been quite drawn to them and I've liked them. So I've got my pile of books here behind me, and yeah, let's get started. So in the number 5th spot we have Feel Good 101 by YouTuber and recording artist Emma Blackery. So this book isn't really like a novel as such. It's a self-help book, and it discusses dealing with depression and the effects it can have on your brain. I thought this was a really good read, for it was very informative, and it's nice to see someone's own anecdotes of what they went through, and as someone who writes themselves, I think we need more books like this. I am a bit biased towards Emma Blackery because I do like her music, and it's not the best book out here, but there definitely needs to be more books like this, trying to get people to understand what depression is like and what anxiety is like, and trying to see it through someone else who went through that type of stuff. This is a very good book, and if anyone's interested, I would definitely buy this book. I'll be leaving the books in the description down below, the names and the titles, and you can buy them all off Amazon, I assume. It's not where I bought all mine, but yeah, so that is Emma Blackery's Feel Good 101, coming in at 5th place. And sorry if I seem a bit croaky, by the way, guys. I've got a sore throat. I've just recovered because I've got a performance next week, and I've been rehearsing for that. So I'll tell you more about that at the end of the video. But coming in at number 4 is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Now, when I did the last top 5 novels, you might remember I was going to read a book called The Throne of Glass, which I hadn't started, and I was just about to read this. I've since read the whole series. There are 6 of them up to date. I believe the 7th one is coming out August, but I'll definitely be getting that. Well, August, it's being August. I probably should know that, so I will be getting that. But so I've read the whole book, and I didn't want to place the book series, so I tried to decide which one in the whole entire series was worthy of the number 4 spot. And I chose Crown of Midnight, which is the 2nd book in the entire series, for I feel it tells more about the heroine and you get a more in-depth story. Another one I really did like is the 3rd one, which is Heir of Fire, for you got to see 2 sides from the companions of the assassin in this book and the assassin herself, finding out a secret about her, which I won't indulge because it's a plot twist that happens at the end of the 2nd book. So if anyone is interested in reading that, I won't tell you what that is. But it's about an assassin who's been arrested and put in the salt mines of Endovia, where she's made to be a slave. It's all in a fantasy setting, and I'm a great lover of fantasy, so some of you may be wondering, why is it in my number 4 spot? Why not number 3, number 2, number 1? Well, I've got other books that just place a lot higher than that I've read and just loved and been engrossed in from day 1 of reading them, and just spent more time reading. This I read in about a week, and that's not to say I wasn't engrossed in it. It was a really good book, but there was just a few problems with it, but not too many. But it was really a really good book, and if you like a great lover of fantasy and assassin type vibe, then the Throne of Glass series is definitely the series for you. Right, coming into my number 3 spot, I've almost forgotten what I've put there. Right, yes. Alright, now this book I read about a year ago. I didn't like it as much when I first read it, but then I went back after having read the second one and got a better understanding of what the book was trying to say and what it was all about. The overall aesthetic of the book I liked when I first read it, but I had to go back and read it again. You almost saw the book there. Yeah, it's Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer. Now, Magnus Chase is the cousin of Annabeth Chase from the Percy Jackson series, and it follows the story of him being descended from the Norse god. I don't know which one. I've almost forgot. Anyway, yeah, he's descended from a Norse god, a not very important one, and he just travels across trying to find the Sword of Summer. In the second one, I believe he tries to find Thor's hammer, and it's just his journey through Norse gods. It's basically a Percy Jackson style story with the Norse gods instead of the Greeks. Right, so that is coming in at number 3, Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer. Really good book. It's a really good book. Right, I can't remember whether this one was in my top 5 last time. I know for definite it was mentioned at some point. Oksa Pollock. Now, this is written by two French authors, and they're Plichota and Cendrine Wolf. This is, I believe, the 3rd book in the series, and it's all about Oksa Pollock, a French girl, trying to find her way back to this magical land which they were kicked out of many years before. She's never been to it before, so her family's trying to lead her back to this land where she actually belongs. Adifia, that's it. So she needs to find her way back to the magical land of Adifia. It's been years since I've read this, but I've always loved the book, but it just in the last few years I've come to love this book even more, and I definitely need to read this again. It was a really good book. So that was Oksa Pollock. Now, some of the ones I wanted to use for my honourable mentions weren't actually on my bookshelf because I borrowed them from libraries or I used them for that type of thing. So one honourable mention I definitely do want to mention in my top 5 before I get onto my number 1 spot here. But 2 that I can think of, 2 honourable mentions. And sorry, that was the laptop going off. So the first honourable mention I want to talk about is the Vega Jane series. So the Vega Jane series follows a 14-year-old girl who is trying to get out of her town and see the real world, but people keeps telling her there's nothing out there, you'll never find anything. And then she discovers that she has magical powers, and going back to the loving fantasy thing, that's one reason I really liked that book, and I thought it brought it out really well. It was nice. like the pace was the right pace, and just it kept going, and it kept a good pace. It wasn't too slow, it wasn't too fast, and the characters, the way they were introduced, was really good. Sorry about that. And then my second honourable mention was Under the Dome by Stephen King. Under the Dome obviously follows the people of Chester's Mill as a dome falls upon their city and encloses them off from the real world. I thought this was really good. It was just hard to get into, and that's the reason it didn't end up in my top 5. Probably would have ended up with about 6, but you know. So now, speaking of Stephen King, my number 1 book this year is It by Stephen King. Now, this took me a long time to read. I was reading this for about 7 months this year. Most of my time this year was taken up by this book. But the book was really good. It was one of the best books I'd ever read. The only problem with it was the ending. The ending was a bit rubbish. But in terms of the other books, the overall book itself was good. It's just the final chapter was a bit all over the place. But in all honesty, I think it is definitely worth the number 1 spot. So that was my top 5 novels. So I've got a few things to speak about at the end of this video. One of which is I've just reached 108 subscribers. I was in rehearsals for the show, which is the next thing I'm going to speak about. I was in rehearsals for the show and saw that I'd reached 108 subscribers. So I was immediately thinking, and this was yesterday by the way, I was immediately thinking I need to do something, but I didn't know what to do. So I thought this was a nice easy way to get back onto the scene. But thank you for 108 subscribers, definitely keep it going. It's great to think that I just started, and just since I've published 2 books, won about 5 competitions in different things, I could not be happier with the people I have supporting this channel and the other things I've done, such as my books and the other things I'm doing. My next thing I'd like to talk about, like I mentioned, the show. So next week, well, this week now, on Wednesday the 24th and Thursday the 25th of October, I will be featured in a show called Honoured, which celebrates the 100th year anniversary of the armistice on November the 11th. So I will be in the show. It will be at Hartlepool Hall. The tickets are £15 if anyone wants to come. But it's a must-see show. Obviously, I'm not telling you to go and spend £15 just to come see me, but it's definitely a show that's very special in my heart and my mind, and it's a good show to remember the soldiers by and to commemorate those who lost their lives in the war. But anyway, that was a bit of a sad note to end on, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I will definitely have something more interesting to do next time. Hopefully Mia will be with me, or Nathan, or just someone, or Jack, Megan. Someone will be with us, and we'll have a more exciting video. I've got a lot of projects on the work, but they just need a bit more correcting, but soon you will see those projects as well. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and bye!